So welcome back, I'm Andrew Block, Sound Alibi. This is the third session. We're going to talk about the guitars that I use for the sound. And I thought the best place to start with that is to sort of pay homage to those who've gone before that I've got much of my inspiration from. I think most of those faces to those who play guitar won't need any description. Those are the main influences I have. And in the selection of guitars, so I've got a number of guitars that I use, and probably this is the best way to give you a sense of the fleet of guitars that I've used on all three albums that we've done. My favourite one, which is the question you often hear, really hard to say. I'd say of the recorded tracks that I've released, there's more that haven't been released and recorded, but of those, probably this old white Yamaha guitar I bought way back in the 80s, Yamaha SE 300. Every one of my guitars has been modified, and as you can see, that one heavily. That's got all sorts of aftermarket pickups in it, mainly Seymour Duncans with special split wiring. That's all passive, so it's not active, but it's a beautiful guitar. It gives you both single coil and double coil in the bridge position, if you like that Dave Gilmour sort of sound. And I've obviously got it on a balanced tremolo balanced spring, so just the slightest bit of effort. Probably the next favourite guitar for me is also a guitar I bought way back in the 80s. That's not actually a Gibson, that's a Pearl Les Paul. Solid body, really heavy, beautiful guitar. Again, modified with some aftermarket pickups and rewiring in there. That's a beautiful humbucking guitar, and I've used that on most of the sort of heavy rock tracks from Dearly Departed, and The Uninvited on the most recent one, Quiver Tree, which we've just released last week. I also really like the Telecaster. I bought that Telecaster about 5 years ago in the States, and I put in an aftermarket set of pickups in there after Paul Rose. I saw a clip of Paul Rose online, and he had this really fantastic rig in his Telecaster, so I did the same thing. I've got there's a Japanese Fender Stratocaster, not an American one actually. I bought about 15 years ago, again with modified pickups. And then I've got a number of other ones there. I've got a really old Morris Power acoustic guitar, which is an electric nylon string guitar. I've got also a Samick Dobro that I've had a pickup put in. And my two main acoustic guitars are by Martin, which I've had for about 8 or 9 years there, untouched as is. The other one I use predominantly is the Maton, the Tommy Emmanuel model guitar, which I'll talk about the acoustics in a separate video. I've also got an Epiphone Joe Pass model that I've also had some PAF pickups put in with new wiring. And for a bit of fun there, I've got a James Tyler Variax, which I use for some of the more unusual guitar sounds. So there's the fleet. The only one you can't see there is the Maton. But you know, they're prize collections, and I've used most of those guitars for the recordings that I've done. I've got a bass there. There's nothing like a real bass guitar. Don't have a bass amp. I just use my Fender amp there for the bass guitar and mic it up. And that's not bad. That's a Fender Jazz bass. So they're the guitar sounds of Sound Alibi. Check out our new album, Quiver Tree. Released it last week. We'll speak soon. Next video I'll talk about the amps. Bye for now.